Well, have you watched the documentary What is a Woman yet? 1 year after its original release, the Daily Wire's What is a Woman documentary has soared to new heights, prompted by a Twitter premiere that featured a dramatic triumph over social media censorship. The tweet of the 90-minute film, which features Daily Wire host Matt Walsh asking questions to gender activists and academics about their beliefs underlying gender ideology, it's amassed more than 170 million views since being posted by the Daily Wire's Twitter account last Thursday, which was the first day of Pride Month. And that's made it one of the most successful documentaries of all time. 170 million views. In comparison, 19 million views watched the final episode of Game of Thrones. In 2019, President Joe Biden's most recent State of the Union drew 27 million people, but 170 million views for this documentary. And part of the reason it's gone viral is not only because it's very good, very revealing, and very funny, but because the left tried to treat it as hate speech. In other words, speech that they just hate. But it backfired. Let's check it out. And some clips. Oh, and a new documentary, What is a Man? You're going to love this episode of McBLOG. So according to the Daily Wire, who produced this documentary, What is a Woman, when it was posted for Twitter users to view for free on Thursday, June the 1st, some of the old left-wing guard at Twitter who wanted to shut down conservatives on Twitter labelled the documentary as hateful conduct and restricted its visibility because of 2 instances of supposed misgendering. Now, in response, Twitter owner Elon Musk insisted the penalties were a mistake by many people at Twitter, and the restrictions were lifted by early Friday morning when Musk himself promoted the film by retweeting the post, "Every parent should watch this." And then there was the abrupt departure of Twitter's Trust and Safety Department Chief Ella Irwin, who obviously wanted the documentary blocked but didn't get her way, fortunately. And by Sunday, the 90-minute documentary appeared at the top of the most popular section of the best movies at home list on Rotten Tomatoes for the month of June, beating out Hollywood juggernauts such as Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and the Super Mario Brothers movie. Now, it even trended in New Zealand.
What is a Woman? Trended in the UK with 129,000 tweets. It trended in the United States. It trended in Germany. It trended in Canada. It trended in New Zealand. People are hungry for truth, and they are sick of being lied to. They are tired of being...
Yeah, even in New Zealand. And it also boasted a positive audience score of 96% on Rotten Tomatoes before trolls did a bit of a blitz of 1-star reviews and brought the score down to just below 90%. Have a look at this. Here's the amazing thing. 10,000 plus ratings from Rotten Tomatoes. Check how many reviews there by official reviewers under the 83%. 6. Just 6. And not a single mainstream reviewer or mainstream media site. Newshub's Kate Roger, nowhere to be seen, despite its mass popularity. And nobody in the New Zealand media, as far as I'm aware, has gone near this documentary to review it. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong. The New Zealand Herald could only bring themselves to talk about this from this angle. A top Twitter executive responsible for safety and content moderation has left the company, her departure coming soon after owner Elon Musk publicly complained about the platform's handling of posts about transgender topics. In other words, the What is a Woman documentary. The departure pointed to a fresh wave of turmoil amongst key officials at Twitter since Musk took over last year. Ella Irwin, Twitter's head of trust and safety, confirmed her resignation in a pair of tweets last Friday. She did not say in the message why she was leaving, but her departure came shortly after Musk criticised Twitter's handling of tweets about a conservative media company's documentary that questions transgender medical treatment for children and teens. So, what's so bad about this documentary? Or should I say, what's so good? Well, let me show you 3 short excerpts of some of the activists that were interviewed. I watched it with my family over the weekend. Now, I'd already seen it when it first came out, but they loved it. But what still amazes me is that Matt Walsh was able to get the interviews with the activists in the first place. They obviously had the questions in advance, one of them admits that, and that they then openly speak about their ideology. So here's 3 quick examples of interviews that are on this What is a Woman documentary.
Male gametes. That's what makes me male.
No, your sperm don't make you male.
Then what does?
It's a constellation.
In reality, in truth, okay?
Whose truth are we talking about?
The same truth that says we're sitting in this room right now, you and I.
No, you're not listening.
If I see a chicken laying eggs and I say that's a female chicken laying eggs, did I assign female, or am I just observing a physical reality that's happening in the world?
Does a chicken have gender identity? Does a chicken cry?
Well,
Does a chicken commit suicide? Let's
What does that have to do
frame
with-
it, because you're trying to...
Chicken has sex like any biological organism.
An assigned gender, but a chicken doesn't have a gender identity.
So we assign female to chickens when they lay eggs?
We assume they're female if they lay eggs.
Okay, so here's another interview with an academic, and he gets very upset when Matt Walsh simply wants to know the truth.
Well, I'm not even talking about social context. I'm just trying to start by getting to the truth, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really uncomfortable with that language of like getting to the truth. Again, in social life.
Why is that uncomfortable?
Because it sounds actually deeply transphobic to me. And if you keep probing, we're gonna stop the interview.
If I probe about what the truth is?
You keep invoking the word truth, which is condescending and rude. I'm saying to you...
How is the word truth condescending and rude?
Why don't you tell me what your truth is, and you're walking on 30 seconds more than ice before I get up.
What my truth...
Yeah, okay. And just one more amusing example.
Thinking about the modalities that I use, I'm definitely informed by like feminist family therapy, and the idea is that we live in gendered worlds where there are certain imperatives that are placed on us about who we are and what we do based on how we've been gendered. From the minute I was assigned female, I was told, okay, these are the kind of clothing that you're going to wear, these are the type of play that you're going to engage in as a child, the path that maybe your life will take because of social expectation.
What do you mean by assigned female? Who assigns female?
Yeah, so most times people, when they're born, they're assigned a gender
by the doctors.
Yeah.
Like, what do they base that assignment on?
So basically, it's based on genitalia. So people looking at genitalia and deciding, okay, this is a girl or a boy. And we know now that that sex and gender are so much more than just this binary. Some women have penises, right? Some men have vaginas. That's not how gender works.
See what I mean? They sort of shoot themselves in the foot with their own ideology. Now, Babylon Bee did this funny article entitled "Film that just shows liberals talking about their ideas labelled offensive content." And it says, a newly released film that simply lets liberals say exactly what they believe has been flagged for offensive content on all available platforms. Filmmaker Matt Walsh said, quote, "We literally just allowed liberals to take the time to clearly explain their thoughts and beliefs. Liberals are really, really offended by what comes out of their own mouths," end quote. Anyway, please watch it. I highly recommend the documentary What is a Woman? And it's available on Twitter at Real Daily Wire. And it's the platform of free speech, Twitter now, isn't it? Much to the annoyance of the left. Now, just finally, Babylon Bee has also released What is a Man? It's a 100-minute documentary, but let me just show you the first minute so that you can get a flavour of it.
In today's changing social landscape of gender identity and expression, traditional roles of masculinity and femininity are seeming to blend together into a wide and diverse spectrum. This raises a peculiar question, a question we hope to answer by the end of this documentary. So join us on our journey to answer the question, what is a man?
So what is a man?
What is a man?
Well, a man, it's got the XY chromosome. He's got testicles and a penis. All right, I think we got it. It's a wrap. Pack things up.
Yep, that's it. So 1 minute of documentary and 99 minutes of rolling credits. What is a man? Very simple, eh? Well, actually, biological truth is very simple, and that's why we need to stop confusing and stressing our children with messages of 112 genders and 200 plus sexualities. It's time to come back to the basics of biology and humanity.